Good morning, everyone. Let's do some prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhavaswa, Tatsavitra Varenayam, Vargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, Asto Ma Satgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, Mrityurma Mritam Gamya. Om Sahnavavtu, Sahnabhunaktu, Sahviryam Karvavahi, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti 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 Om. Let's open our book, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. We are on chapter 3 and we finished a section last week. So this is a section number 9. And this Brahman is called Śākalya Brahman. In the previous sections, we have been learning the cause and the effects. That every effect is pervaded by a cause and is non-different from the cause. And all effects are ultimately pervaded by Brahma. That is a supreme cause. And that supreme cause is causeless. That's what we learned. And there is something more about this supreme cause has been said. The polarity of the effects in the form of this manifold universe does not in any way affect the integrity, the absolute nature of Brahma. Absolute nature which is homogeneous. So Brahma does not transform himself to create these multi-universes. Brahma remains unmodified and also unchanged. So the entire group of effects in the form of the universe is only a superimposed idea, not really a, in the real sense, transformation or modification. See, just like we see the milk gets modified into yogurt. Yogurt gets modified into butter. But Brahma does not get modified. Because Brahma is not something. We cannot call Brahma a substance in the usual sense of the term. So we should not make this mistake, ascribing any mode to him. But at the same time, we got to remember that all modes of substances have their existence only due to his existence. Again, looking at the analogy of ocean, all the waves, ripples, bubbles, we all know they are all modes of water, have their existence because of the ocean. So in other words, we may just refer to Brahma as the one in whom everything here has its birth, existence, and final death. And from a higher point of view, we can question the reality or existence of that referred to by the term everything. So polarity can be said it's a manifestation of the one absolute reality. So just like we can say the ocean is so many gallons of water, because we are referring to the one ocean in terms of the quantity of water in it. So this great truth is taught in this section, Śākalya Brahman. And it gives the conclusive view regarding the teachings and philosophy of the Upanishad, which we are seeing so far, to define the cause of the universe, its ruler, its controller, from two different standpoints, the relative as well as the absolute. By enumerating the variety in the number of gods first, we will see that in this section, and then by reducing them to a single deity, this section tries to explain how the many are but the manifestation of the one. It looks like multiplicity, but actually it's only one, real unity. This section also expounds the eminent aspect of the life with reference to the body, eye, light, support, etc. We'll see a lot of examples. The various modes of the manifestation or appearance. And this chapter, which is a third chapter, it concludes with this topic. So over here, the Rishi's name is Śākalya. So Śākalya is putting this question to Rishi Yajnavalkya. Let's look at verse number 1. Ath hanam vidagdha Śākalya paprach kati deva Yajnavalkya iti sa hetyev nividaha pratipede yavanto vaishva devasye nividhyucyantehe त्रयश्च त्रिच शता त्रयश्च त्रिच सहस्र इति ओम इति होवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य इति त्रैस् अदिति ओम इति हि अवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य इति षठति ओम इति होवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य इति त्र इति ओम इति हि उवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य एति द्वाव इति हि ओम इति होवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य इति अधर्यधर् इति ओम इति होवाच कथ्य एव देवा याज्ञवल्क्य इति एक इति ओम इति होवाच कथमेते त्रयश्च त्रिच शतः त्रयश्च त्रिच सहस्र इति. Then Vidgadha, the son of Śākalya, questioned him. How many gods are there? Yajnavalkya ascertained it only through the Nivid, saying as many as are mentioned in the Nivid, that is like a hymn from the Vedas, relating to the Vishvadevas, 303 and 3003. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? He said 33. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? 6. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? 3. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? 2. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? 1.5. True, said Śākalya. How many gods exactly are there, Yajnavalkya? 1. True, said Śākalya. Which are those 303 and 3003 then? So this is a conversation between Śākalya and Yajnavalkya. We saw in the previous sections Gargi and Yajnavalkya. So when Gargi resumed her seat, Vidgad, another great scholar, rose up. And he did not concur with the opinion of Gargi about Yajnavalkya's wisdom. That's why he is standing up. Because you remember towards the end of the last section, after being defeated by Yajnavalkya, she said, nobody is higher than them. Nobody knows more than Yajnavalkya. So now, hoping to defeat Yajnavalkya in the knowledge of the scriptures, this rishi started questioning him. So the first question was about the number of gods. Yajnavalkya replied that there are as many gods as stated in the Nivid. Nivid is a set of hymns. It's like an invocation to the gods, with an enumeration of their titles. And they come and receive the offerings according to the Vedas. Those hymns state that there are 3,306 gods. Śākalya approved this answer, which tallied with that given in the scriptures. But he further pressed on Yajnavalkya to say the exact and the smaller numbers. That is the conversation between those two. And he kept repeating the same question. And Yajnavalkya replied all the questions, reducing the number to 33, 6, 3, 2, 1.5. And at last arrived at the smallest number, 1. He said there's only one God, whose manifestations are all these varying numbers of gods, who are infinite in number, actually. Anant. Now that Yajnavalkya concluded his description regarding the minimum and exact number of gods with the concept of one God, a question can come naturally that which are those 3,306 gods about which Yajnavalkya mentioned through the statements of the Nivid? So Śākalya put the same question again. Sahvach mehiman ev eshamete Trya Shritev Devaha iti Katmete Taryas Istrihi Aditi Ashtahu Vasvaha Ekadash Rudraha Dwadash Adityaha Te Ekam Trishat Indrascha Ev Prajapatischa Trya Ev Itihi. Yajnavalkya said, really, there are but 33 gods. The others are only their manifestations. Which are those 33? The 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas. These come to 31. And Indra and Prajapati make up the 33. So this is where Yajnavalkya replied that those 3,306 gods were only different manifestations of the aspects of the 33 gods. And to explain further this 3,306 gods, which Nivid mentions, are classified under 33 godheads. We see that also in the scriptures. Just as all the different species of creatures, which are innumerable, are classified under 4 main groups. There are some species born out of eggs, some from the womb, some from the sweat, and there are some they sprout from the earth. So there are innumerable creatures, but 4 categories. And these 33 godheads are the 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas, Indra, and Prajapati. That's how Yajnavalkya is answering clearly Śākalya's question. Now in the verse number 3, Katme vasv iti agnischa prithvi cha vayuscha antriksham cha adityascha dhyauscha chandramascha nakshatrani cha etehe vasvaha eteshu hidam sarvam hitam iti tasmat iti. Which are the Vasus? So this must be asked by Śākalya. Fire, earth, air, the sky, the sun, heaven, the moon, and the stars. These are the Vasus. Because all this universe rests on these alone. They are known as Vasus. So which are the 8 Vasus? Fire, earth. He starts from there. The 8 Vasus, the deities of fire. These are the deities, the devatas. Fire, earth, wind, intermediate space, Akasha, sun, heaven, moon, and stars. 8 in numbers, they are Vasus. Since they are identical with the objects and beings of the whole world and serve all of them as their support, they are called Vasus. So the meaning of Vasu is support. Vasu. So in this verse number 3, he is telling us which one are the Vasus. And which are the Rudras then? Katmehe Rudraha iti dashemehe purushehe prana atma ekadashaha te yad asmat shriraha mrityehe utrakamanantehe rodyantihi tadye rodyantihi tasmat rudraha iti. So he says, which are the Rudras? The 10 organs in man, and the mind is the 11th. When they leave this mortal body, they make one's relatives cry. Because they then make them cry, they are called Rudra. We all know Rudra. That's where that word, common Hindi word has come out. Crying, Rudra. So which are those 11 Rudras who are a part of the 33 gods? This is being answered here in this verse number 4. They are the presiding deities of the 10 organs of action and knowledge. Karmendriya, Gyanendriya. And the 11th one is mind. Rud. Rud means to cry, to weep. So the term Rudra is derived from Rud. The organs and the mind are called Rudras because when they leave a person at the time of death, they make his relatives cry. Now let's look at number 5. These are very simple looking mantras. We can relate to this because some mantras in this great Upanishad, we think they are too difficult to understand, but this section is easy to understand. Let's look at verse number 5. Katam adityaha iti dvadashve masaha संवत्सरस्य एतदित्यः एते इदं सर्वमादानः यन्ति ते यद इदं सर्वमादानः यन्ति तस्मात् अदित्यः इति. So now he's asking about the Adityas. Which are the Adityas? A year has 12 months. These are the Adityas. For they go taking away all this. Because they go taking away all this, they are called Adityas. So the 12 Adityas are the presiding deities of the 12 months of a year. These 12 months carry with them the longevity of a person with each month. Because they carry with them all this, the life and the work of all people. They are called Aditya. Then in the verse number 6, another question. Katam Indraha Katmaha Prajapatiriti Satanyitnuhu in Devendraha Yagya Prajapititi Katmaha Stanyinutriti Ashni Ritihi Katmo Yagya iti Pashva iti. Which is Indra? Which is Prajapati? The thunder cloud indeed is Indra. And the sacrifice Prajapati, which is the thunder cloud, the thunderbolt, which is the sacrifice. So he's asking, what is the sacrifice? He says, animals. So Indra here means thunder. And the thunder means thunderbolt, which is indicative of vigor and strength, which kill others. And it is the function of Indra. And sacrifice is indicative of animals which are used in sacrifices. It is upon the animal's sacrifice mainly depends. So from these verses, we can see that there must have been some kind of a sacrifice in those times. Now let's look at verse number 7. Katmehe shat iti agnischa prithvihi vayuscha antariksham cha adityascha dhyoshcha ete shat ete hidam sarvam shaditihi. Which are the 6 gods? Fire, earth, air, the sky, the sun, and heaven, these are the 6 gods. For these 6 comprise all those gods. So 33 godheads, they have been mentioned in the preceding mantras. And those 33 godheads are included in the 6 gods, which are mentioned in this particular verse, verse number 7. These 6 gods who include in themselves the 33 gods. So the 3,306 also are the same as the 6 Vasus, the presiding deities of the fire, earth, air, space, sun, and heaven. The 8 Vasus and the others that have been mentioned are included in these 6. So the 3,306 gods, as also the 33 gods, are the different aspects of these 6 gods. So it's just like a bringing it down so that we can understand it all. Now let's look at verse number 8 also. Katme te treyo deva iti im ev treyo lokaha eshu hime sarvam deva iti katmau to dvau devaviti annam cha ev pranaschiti katmo ayardhar iti yo ayam pavat iti. And which are the three gods? These three worlds alone. For all those gods are included in these three. Which are the two gods? Matter and the vital force, the Pran. Which are the 1.5? This air that blows. So further reducing the number. So the six gods mentioned actually are only three. How? The earth, sky, and heaven, he says. These three worlds alone are the three gods, because in them the six gods exist. Earth and fire together make this earth. The intermediate space and the air together make the sky. The sun and the heaven together make the heaven. So all the six gods are included in the three: earth, sky, and heaven. So he is further compressing it. Even these three gods are reduced to two gods then after that. These two gods are food or matter and the vital force, Pran. It means that these two include in them all the gods that have so far been mentioned. But this is not all. There's a possibility of further reduction. Even these two gods, food and the vital force, are supported by the cosmic air which blows, and it is equal to 1.5, it says. Because this cosmic air holds all gods firmly. It supports the existence of the 3,306 gods. But for this cosmic air, they would have been reduced to nothing. There's nothing in this universe which is not supported by this cosmic principle, well known as air. And it's indicated by its grosser form of wind which blows. And it is Pran, the vital force, that is referred to by the terms air and wind. So in a very broad sense, we may say that the cause of a thing is the deity of that thing. And deity means the Devta. Even as God is said to be everything as regards the whole creation, the deity is the all with regard to a particular thing. Deity. It is the power that works from within. So in this sense, every object has got a deity, and the number of deities is infinite. All these infinite numbers is not really different among themselves, though. They are the manifestations or expression of one deity. And over here in this verse, Yajnavalkya is designating that deity as air or cosmic vital force. So reducing it to that. Let's look at one more verse, verse number 9. Tad ahu yadyam ek iv ev pavate ath katham ayardha iti yad asminidam sarvam adhyanot tena ardhya iti katam eko dev iti pran iti sa brahma tyad tyachakshate. Concerning this, some say, when the air blows as only one entity, how can it be one and a half? Because all beings flourish by its existence, it is one and a half. Which is the one God? The vital force, it is Brahma. Call it Tyat, that. So a question is raised over here. Since this air blows as one only, why is it said it is the one and a half? Because we've been reading about that, one and a half. And the reason is given here. Everything flourishes because of this air. Everything exists and attains glory because of air. So it's meaningfully indicated by the numerical one and a half. Even though it's one, it is equivalent to one and a half. So that really means more than one. One and a half. Then we come to the one God. It is the cosmic vital force which vibrates and fills the entire being of every atom in this universe. In fact, all those 3,306 gods are reducible to this cosmic vital force. Because everything here is a manifestation of this life force. It is the sum total of all gods. That's why we call him Brahma. He is the first manifested form known as, in our Vedantic scriptures, as Hiranyagarbha. He is identified with Brahm for the reason that he is one and at the same time he expands like Brahm. The word Brahma has the root as Briha. Briha means to grow or to expand. Briha. So the one cosmic vital force expands into any number of gods with different functions and also different characteristics. This number varies according to the varying capacities of the persons comprehending him. He is something which is not directly perceived by the organ. That's why he is denoted by the word Teyat, meaning that. Teyat. That it really signifies remoteness. That. Because something closer, we say this. Something remote, we say that. There are infinite numbers of gods, Vishwadevas. So in the Nivid, they are enumerated in limited numbers only. So in this section of this Upanishad, they are successively reduced up to one, which includes in itself all gods, and yet remains as one, or which expands into any number of gods from one and a half to infinity. I'm sure from here you can understand why we have so many devatas, or we talk about the devatas, but at the same time we say God is one. So this is the last and the 9th section of this chapter. And in the rest of this section, we'll see the teachings which have been given in the previous 8 sections. And over here we see the final conclusion, discussion between these two people now. Yajnavalkya and Śākalya. Having answered all the questions put by Śākalya, we'll see that Yajnavalkya will put one question to the whole assembly about the cause of rebirth of a man after death. And when every one of the assembled scholars and saints could not answer it, we will see that Rishi Yajnavalkya will give the answer by saying that the cause of rebirth of a man is Brahma, the absolute. And then he will reply to the more general questions as to the cause of the creation of the universe as a whole also. And he will say that it is Brahma. The cause of the universe cannot be the physical mixture of elements or atoms. Not even their chemical combination could produce this vast universe, because they are insentient. None can assert that insentient objects can produce sentient beings. Insentient means inert, jad. Physical elements are incapable of creating conscious individuals. The only way of solving this great problem of life is to trace the individual consciousness to the universal consciousness, and then merge both of them in the absolute, which is said to be the ultimate cause. Vijnanam Anandam Brahm. Consciousness, bliss, Brahm. And these are the terms we'll see in this section, beautifully explained. So we'll start with verse number 10 of this great section next week and see further explanation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.